James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Hey guys, it is currently 12:16 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and welcome to Silent Hill 2. This game is a masterpiece. This is one of the games that people regularly trot out when they talk about games as being art, along with Shadow of the Colossus and Ico. So, you know you're in for a real treat. Now, I've played this game dozens of times, and I recently noticed something that I'd never seen before: the extra riddle difficulty. This is a difficulty mode in which you basically have to be Batman to solve the riddles. You could literally sit there for 2 hours and not even begin to figure out what the riddles are hinting at. We ain't gonna do that. That's insane. So instead we're gonna go with the nice normal riddle difficulty. Now, one of the problems of this game is that even your mightiest enemy, Pyramid Head, poses no threat to you. So we're gonna go with hard mode on the action difficulty to amp up the difficulty so that you at least get some challenge out of the game. Now we're gonna turn on the brightness for this one because I've noticed from previous videos, specifically for Resident Evil 7 on YouTube, that the videos actually look a lot darker online than they do on my TV. So if you go with the regular brightness level, you're barely gonna see a thing in the video. So we're just gonna amp up the brightness level just to be on the safe side. I think that should be enough. We're gonna put on subtitles so you guys can understand the story, because this is one hell of a story. And we're also gonna play the game with the grain filter. Now I personally don't like covering up these nice shiny graphics with the grain filter, but that is the way the game was meant to be played, so we're gonna put it in. It's called the noise effect. No, we do not need a bullet adjust. And that should be it. So let's sit on back and take a trip to Silent. That is the face of a tired man right there. You can see it on his face.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
Alright, let's explore the gas station bathroom a bit. You notice here's the channeling stone. You can pick this up, but do not use it under any circumstances unless you want to get the joke ending for the game, or one of the joke endings. This is basically an extra item that you get in the special edition of the game, the greatest hits version, but we're not going to use it through this playthrough. I just wanted you to be able to see it in the actual menu. Now this game has both 2D and 3D difficulty control levels, control schemes rather. Now don't let the names fool you. 2D control is actually more similar to the analog controls that you use with the analog stick on the PlayStation controllers. 3D controls is basically the tank controls from Resident Evil games and the previous Silent Hill. Now we're gonna go old school on this, so we are using the 3D controls. Together with the hard action level, that should provide a bit of a challenge for us. Alright, let's head outside.
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday. I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
Boy, look at that gorgeous view. You can stay here for hours looking at that thing. I was amazed when I first bought the game and saw how beautiful that view was. But we've got a dead woman to find, so let's get a move on. First off, get the map from the car. Map of Silent Hill. You can actually go without the map. I think James will draw one as you go along through the different areas, but it's just a lot easier to have that one. As you can see, all the roads are closed, so James is pretty isolated here. Brahms, that's a town you hear mentioned in the first Silent Hill, and it's actually got a pretty significant role in a minor character's background, but we'll learn more in the third game. Before I move on, let me take a moment to just highlight those beautiful fog effects. Fans of this series will know that it got remade, or remastered rather, into an HD edition like Metal Gear Solid, the Jack games, Zone of the Enders, etc. a few years ago, and the company that did it actually screwed it up. They removed the fog effects, which is basically taking away half of the atmosphere of the game. So yeah, I haven't bought those HD remasters as much as I wanted to, and I probably never will, considering how awful they turned out. Believe it or not, once you take the grain filter away from this version of the game, it actually looks pretty good on a Sony TV. Now I'm recording using component cables, so things may look a little screwy occasionally here and there, so you'll just have to forgive me for that. That's the best I can do at the moment. Again, there are HD editions available, but I wouldn't recommend them. one thing that is definitely top notch in this game is the ambience. The ambient sounds of their environment. Despite the game being called Silent Hill, you very rarely hear silence in this game. There's always something going on in the background, some odd noise or something to identify. So it's a real audio treat for those of you who are playing with headphones, which is definitely the way I recommend to play this game. Now while we make our way here, let me explain some background about this. I played Silent Hill 1 and loved it, but I wasn't really the fanboy I would become of the series at that time. Then I played this game, and that definitely amazed me. It's not my favorite of the Silent Hill games. That would be Silent Hill 3, but it's definitely a masterpiece, even with its very, very few flaws. I don't often like it when games start out slow, but I'll definitely forgive it in this occasion because you're building up to something pretty magnificent. If you take a look in here, this is the save square, which will be used to saving your game. We're just going to examine it at this time, but we're not really going to use it now. There's something in the well. What's that? Looking at this makes me feel like someone's groping around inside. See a weird feeling. Now a lot of people give this game flack about the voice acting. Some of it's bad, some of it's not. I personally don't think there's any really bad voice acting in this game. Considering what these people are and what you'll come to know about them, it actually makes sense that they sort of act this way. And believe me, I've heard a lot of people who talk a lot worse than the characters in this game, so you know, most people aren't great voice actors in real life. We're going to meet one of the first major characters right here in a few seconds.
Excuse me,
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No,
was
it's
just...
okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah. I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Is it dangerous?
maybe. And it's not just the fog either.
Okay,
It's...
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for someone.
Who is it?
Someone very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, James is not going to be deterred no matter what. So Angela's looking for her family. This is going to be very important later on, so pay attention to that little detail. You can actually talk to her a bit more here, but she just kind of gives you a reminder that aren't you looking for someone, so let's not bother her for the meantime. I kind of like this graveyard. It's not as detailed as the one in Silent Hill 4, but it's nice to be like this before you get into the really hellish places. You know, Guy Chihi, basically the voice actor for James, caught a lot of flack about his performance in this game. I think he actually kind of works. He's very good sometimes, and he's very bad sometimes, but considering the kind of person James is, and what you come to know about him, it actually makes sense that he acts this way. They actually attempted to replace him for the HD remaster of the game, and a lot of people protested. I've never played their HD remaster, so I don't actually know what it sounds like. They went with Troy Baker, who is a decent enough voice actor, I suppose. He's Kanji Tatsumi from Persona 4. I think he did the Joker one time, I'm not sure. He's done a couple roles, but I gotta admit, my first choice for James is actually the original voice actor. We're gonna come across something here, which is a bonus item from previous playthroughs. This is the chainsaw. We are not gonna take that weapon. We are not taking it is because yes, that is a great weapon. It does a lot of damage, but for one thing, it's slow. You pretty much have to stand in one place and not move while you use it against the enemies. It takes the challenge out of it, and it's also just not a very fun weapon to use. The chainsaw in the first game wasn't much either, and you don't really get a lot of fun bonus weapons until the third game. The only really fun weapon you had before was the Hyper Blaster in Silent Hill 1, and that's more of a handgun, so fun melee weapons you don't get until the third game. Attention to detail. James pausing to catch his breath. I think that's the first time I'd ever seen that done in a video game.